I have a crazy story here coming out of New Delhi. Huffington Post reports, the government in India's capital has shut down 1,800 schools for the first time ever, forcing 1 million students to stay at home to avoid breathing in the deadly smog that continues to shroud the city. This comes a week after firecracker residue from the Diwali festivities pushed the city's air quality index into the red zone. Wow, so they go on to explain here that the pollution is 8 times higher than the safe limit. I mean, this is like, we've seen this in China before, where your visibility is limited to just a few feet because the air is so densely polluted that, it's fucking killing people just to breathe it in. We've done stories from China where children have lung cancer. Children! It's because they've been breathing in nothing but shitty air the entire time. I mean, it's at least equivalent to literally smoking a cigarette every time you go outside. I mean, it's fucking deadly, man. It's as simple as that. So pollution is, again, about 8 times higher than the safe limit. And it's partly due to overpopulation and too many cars. It's also due to the firecrackers that they mentioned. But also they say farm fires that get blown into the city. And it just mats the city with smoke and fucking dust and all types of nasty shit. And here's why this story is so important. I mean, nobody talks about it, but according to the World Health Organization, there are 7 million deaths every year from air pollution, premature deaths. That's crazy. 7 million? So that shows you, oftentimes, the things we don't think about at all are the silent killers. And this is why, for example, regulating the marketplace is so important. It's important here in the US, it's important in India, it's important everywhere, because if you don't regulate it, there's this massive problem in capitalist systems called externalities. Namely, unintended consequences of a free marketplace, like, for example, pollution. So, I mean, there was a story about the toxic chemicals being dumped in the Hudson River because General Electric had a plant and they didn't want to spend the money to dispose of it in a safe way, so they just dumped it in the river right next to the fucking plant. Well, it helped them in terms of we don't have to waste money to dispose of it, in a safe way, but it poisoned the entire fucking river. And this is the problem. It's something that can be good for the corporation, just flat out good, can be terrible for society. So it can be good for a business to pollute the air because, hey, you're getting rid of your waste and you're doing it in a way doesn't cost anything. But you, at the same time, you're polluting the air and giving people illnesses and diseases, and, you're making it a much less attractive place to live and to be. So you need to regulate. And to bring in Donald Trump here randomly, this is a guy who said he wants to eliminate the FDA, he wants to eliminate the EPA. That's insane. That's just flat out crazy. I mean, what are you going to do? He says, I'm going to eliminate all the regulations on the energy sector, oil and gas, totally gone. Coal, totally gone. No regulations on that either. So, I mean, so what? We're going to have food that has salmonella and E. coli, and we're, no cop watching over it to make sure that everything is safe. No regulation on the marketplace to stop pollution. I mean, what a terrible way to roll back the clock, and that's exactly what it is. And they're dealing with this problem now big time in New Delhi. They're dealing with it big time in India. And look, I'm just telling everybody, World Health Organization, 7 million deaths every year from air pollution. It's now officially a carcinogen, they figured out. Things like this. This is what you should fear. This is what you should be afraid of. Giant systemic issues that we drag our feet on. We're like, whatevs, like climate change. What are you going to do? It's hard to conceptualize, and it's a slow-moving thing, so I guess we all slowly die. No, these are the things you should fear. 7 million, that's an unbelievable number. So we gotta get into the game of regulating the economy, making sure that we limit pollution, and just overall trying to make the world a better place than what it currently is.